Jai Hind. Today, India is celebrating the 22nd Kargil Vijay Diwas to commemorate the supreme sacrifice and valor of the Indian Armed Forces. Viewers, today our endeavour is to understand the bigger picture, encompassing the geopolitical, the geo-strategic and operational aspects of the Kargil War. On this, we have with us a Kargil War veteran, Major General K.K. Sinha. Welcome, General Sinha. Sir, can you please make our viewers understand as to what is the backdrop of the Kargil War, why and how it was fought, and why Pakistan, after losing the 1947-48, 1965 and 1971 wars, after such a long period of time, in 1999 they dared to infiltrate into the Kargil region? And also, can you please tell us about what is the geostrategic and geopolitical implications of this?
Right, you have asked the question regarding the Kargil War on what was the backdrop on which it happened and why the Pakistan dared to do this in spite of losing three battles, especially in 1971. It has happened after 28 to 29 years after that. To understand that, we have to go into a slightly 1 year back because it happened in 99 in May. You have to understand that we have to go back about a year back when in India it was Vajpayee ji, he came and took over and he became the Prime Minister and the Indian government was there. And within 2 months of his taking over as the Prime Minister, India has gone nuclear. On 11th and 13th of May, India carried out a nuclear explosion at Pokhran. It was such a move, it was such a act, and even the whole world got surprised. And especially America got absolutely rattled about it.
Yes.
Even the CIA, KGB, ISI, any other agencies of the world never had the immense, small idea what India is going to do and has done it. They came to know about this only when in the seismic scale they were able to pick it up and they thought it is a tremor which has come, earthquake. But when they came and located in Pokhran, they came to know it is a nuclear explosion. Whole world got surprised. It is such an event which was never taken in the world history. India was put through a lot of pressure, and everyone threatened that India should be isolated. A lot of sanction was put on India, and even the World Bank and International Monetary Fund, they threatened that they will not give the money. But what happened? In retaliation to this, in Pakistan, in there, there were Pervez Musharraf was the chief, and Nawaz Sharif was the Prime Minister of that country. They decided to go nuclear with the help of China. And what happened? Within 15 days' time, they have gone and carried out a nuclear test in Balochistan, and that rattled the whole world. The world, started saying that two nuclear power, which is traditionally enemy since their inception, has gone and seen a major war, has gone nuclear, and there can be a nuclear catastrophe, can be a nuclear exchange. And that's why they should be isolated, they should be forced to go back that, of the idea of nuclear, that they wanted to have the proliferation. It can't be proliferated further. And when all this thing was going on, the UN General Assembly, which came in August, and it was Nawaz Sharif in that he brought it out, and he just left a sabufa going. Pakistan is very good at it, and what he brought it out in the United Nations General Assembly, that when he was the first time the Prime Minister in 1982, by road he has travelled from Pakistan to India, Delhi, to witness the 1982 Asian Games.
Okay.
And India was put a lot of pressure because whole world started saying that Pakistan wants to have friendship with India, but in India no one is giving. Bajpayee came under a lot of pressure. And there was a diplomatic, there was a bureaucratic, there is also political pressure to have some diplomacy, and he thought of, unity, the bus diplomacy, and that is called bus diplomacy to Lahore. And he decided to go with that, and with Pervez Musharraf was not very happy about it. When this all relations was, trying to, resolve that enmity between those nations. And what happened? What happened on February, that next day of February in 99, I believe it was on 17th of February or so, Bajpayee took the bus to Lahore, and there was a Lahore declaration. Yes. But prior to that, General Musharraf, who was appointed as army chief by Nawaz Sharif, by sacking a previous chief, he pulled out an old plan of Operation Vada, which they have war gamed it. They have also carried out a lot of rehearsals in the general area of Kargil, isolated area, by disguise. What they have been doing in 47, 48 and 65 when they came and disguised Mujahideens and things like that, they wanted to do it again. And not annexing the Jammu and Kashmir, but at least making an international issue. At the same time, threatening Siachen Glacier and Turtok. That was, a plan, and for which he briefed, Pervez Musharraf briefed Nawaz Sharif. He has been, he was taken to GHQ twice at Rawalpindi. He was even taken to the spot in the area of Kargil, Baltistan and POK, where this, it was perceived and to be launched in Kargil sector. But you'll see, Nawaz Sharif being a very, cunning politician and a smart guy, and see what he never gave an inkling to his counterpart in India that, there is something is cooking up. At the same time, he is going through with Lahore Declaration and Lahore bus diplomacy. I will quickly touch upon what happened in the region. See, in Afghanistan, there was a Taliban, government. It came in, in 1976. 1976 it came, and it was there. It carried on till 2001, and then 9/11 happened. But I am talking about 99. In 99, this is the time, Pakistan, especially the Pervez Musharraf, had a lot of confidence that they have got the depth, the strategic depth they talk about in Afghanistan, and a puppet, government of Taliban's, and they have able to defeat USSR and made it, the Russia was formed. They were able to get the confidence from Americans that they can do anything, things like that. They were the frontline state. This is the way they had a lot of military aids, lot of equipment. F-16 was given to the Pakistan. And they also, in their calculation, it was, they thought that the nuclear test which India has carried out, India has, actually given that nuclear policy came out, no first use, that we are not going to use it to anyone. I think, when we declared it the no first use policy, he got further that India will not use it, and they were very much confident that, they do not have that much of nuclear arsenal with them what the Pakistan had. The Pakistan has got the tacit support of China and other nations from where they're getting the nuclear. And at the same time, the missile technology, Abdul Kalam Azad came later stage, where our missile technology has taken over, not only Pakistan, but the whole world now with BrahMos coming. That time, they perceived that they have got a better missile technology, they have got a better equipment, and now with the nuclear thing, the conventional edge which India had, they have compromised. And they can launch this operation and take the revenge in 1971. Mind you, Musharraf's brother was there in 1971. War was killed. So he has a personal enmity. So when Bajpayee Sahib went to Pakistan, he even didn't salute to him. But we didn't pick up those indications. The day he signed the declaration, Lahore Declaration, and coming back, Musharraf was there on those POK heights. This, things happened, much before even the bus has gone to Lahore. Probably in my assessment, my analysis, and my research says probably they did it from the month of 99 onwards, November 98 onwards. Prepared for 6 months. They carried out small trickle in, they made a huge base. I will explain it to you when we will come down the terrain in which it was fought, how they did it in that. So that is the backdrop, and on which it was launched, and why he was confident that they will be able to do it. They will not only take Siachen back, the revenge, now 1984, they will also take the Turtuk, the famous Turtuk battle of Kalrinchin, which was, that area was taken, they thought. So I will explain it to you a little bit of the terrain when we come down to the operation as specific to such.
Santosh, please come.
Yeah, good afternoon, General Sinha.
Good afternoon.
I was just hearing, the way you have explained, we were not aware of this. I'm sure many of our viewers may not be aware of this. And you talked about Operation Badr. And you also said that, Pakistan has already war-gamed it. So, would you like to, we definitely would like to know, how it happened, and we would love to hear from you in a nutshell how it has happened and how Pakistan has captured the strategic heights of Kargil sector, and how Indian Army has retaliated them and recaptured the heights.
Santosh, you have asked about the Operation Badr. Of course, everyone knows about the Operation Vijay, which has come up. Operation Badr, people generally do not know. But a lot of literatures have come up, especially in the Pakistan, because a lot of, even the previous ISI chief, he has, put the whole operation the way it has been done. So to understand this, I have, taken the sketch and the maps which has been published by the Pakistan, and the way, they have perceived this operation, how they have launched it. To explain it, let's, see and understand. In the background, you are seeing generally the sketch of that area. And in this sketch, from west to east, in the purple line is the LOC.
Yeah.
And then we see the Sakardu, and west of this is the Hapalu area, and there is a proper axis which is coming towards the Batalik sector and Chor-Batla sector, and of course on the west of it is the Gilgit, which has been shown here. Then in this operations, Moscow Valley, Daraz sector, Kaksar, Batalik sector, Chor-Batla, and Turtuk, and up north Siachen Glacier is important. The road, which is NH1 alpha, which has shown on the sketch, it is coming from Srinagar, coming to Kargil is the nearest point where it is coming in the Kaksar area from the LSE, and then going to Batalik sector and through along the Indus River and going towards the Leh. So now the operation, Badr, which I would like to explain it to you, because one has to understand, because that is what actually the countered by in India. In Operation Badr, what happened? Initially the plan was there, which Musharraf has promised to Nawaz Sharif, that it will look like that it has been done by the Mujahideens. So what he did it. They have taken the regional or the local battalions of that area, that is called NLI, Northern Light Infantry. They are from the Gilgit-Baltistan, they are from that area. So they have, and what has been identified during the battle was 5, 7, then 8, 11, 12 another battalion, which has come out, at least this much. They are also, POK battalion they have used some Sindh battalion. They are also used some elements of special forces, and they were just generally from those areas, they have used it. They have used the army aviation, a huge amount of artillery. So initially from Sakardu, they started trickling in from that area. They started trickling in from the Gilgit area on foot, along the mule tracks, and they carried out, the two logistic base. One was very small, which was coming from the area of Moscow and Daras area, but the biggest, the logistic base they have created behind the Batalik sector in area known as Malto Dhalu.
Okay.
And then in the area towards the Chorbatla, toward the Turtuk, they had some bases which was there earlier, because that was along with their tracks, along with the roads, because they were occupying these areas. Chorbatlas were held by them. What they did they launched these operations over a period of time, initially in the garb of Mujahideens. The Pakistani army in salwar and kameez and Pathani dresses, they came and occupied all those strategic heights along the Moscow Valley, along the Daras sector, along the Kaksar sector, along the Chorbatla, along the Turtuk. So initially, India only came to know, and their plan was there, that if they will take those heights and they will able to cut the road which I brought it out, NH1 Alpha, approximately 100 kilometers by fire and observation, especially from the Kaksar sector, which is the nearest point. They would have done it physically on ground, and thereby doing so that all area of Ladakh and in the area of Siachen Glacier, it can be cut off, and then launch a major operations and carry out towards capture those areas and take the revenge. They also planned from Moscow Valley that they will secure the Daras sector, and from Moscow Valley they will able to infiltrate these Mujahideens. Basically they thought of using it, the Taliban's Baluch from there, and the Taliban coming in this area and occupying the Jammu and Kashmir Valley, because the Neelam Valley, which is further west to it, it is being dominated by India. So it was a huge plan, and Musharraf was thought that if they are successful in doing so, they will do this thing and they will go in the history that Musharraf and Nawaz Sharif has done it, which the whole Pakistan was not able to do last, say, about 60 years in 99, since their independence. So this was the overall plan. Huge artillery concentration in a very, very different and innovative way. Artillery deployed along the valleys in small number, but bringing out fire all along with a massive artillery build-up of theirs, just to cut off 100 kilometers of NH1 Alpha.
Sinha, you have mentioned about Chorbatla, and if I recall correctly, that I think you have command that Chorbatla territory. So we would definitely strategic listener would like to have some time, one show on your Chorbatla victory.
Okay, now I'll certainly come to the Chorbatla sector. When I'll dwell upon the our offensive Operation Vijay.
Yeah, sure.
See what happened. Generally, the Indian Army has been vacating these areas, which I said, Moscow, Daras, Kaksar area, the area of Batalik, even in the area of Chorbatla, North Chorbatla, a very small, force used to be left and vacated during the winter's time. And it has been, last 26 years, and that was the norm. And that is the norm was known to the Pakistani that Indian troops have been doing it, because it was taken that LSE, no one will change it, no one will come this side of the LSE. Yeah. So that's why these areas were all vacated when it happened, and they used the winter time. Probably in my mind after November, initially they have carried out their logistic bases, and then they have moved up. When the Indian army or the people who were occupying those heights came down because of the winter vacate, they used to vacate those areas, and they coolly came and occupied those areas. They met the defenses very strong, and they had a feeling that if they will take this strategic height, no army, no one, it is just impossible to physically take this. It is, they perceived it, and it is, and they are quite correct. It is only the valor, it is the determination of the Indian armed forces that it has been taken back. Height 16,000, 17,000, 18,000, 20,000. Those were the heights on which they have taken position, occupied all locations, strategic heights leading to that. So it was a very beautiful plan. It is a marvelous masterstroke plan, as per game plan, as per me, which they initially succeed. And we absolutely failed in finding out because of our intelligence, and intelligence, all IB, raw military intelligence, physically the people who are going ground and doing the patrolling. See, in such a vast area, and probably I think either they have lowered the guard because of the friendship, what was going on, Lahore Declaration, thinking that now the Pakistan is the friend. That will never happen. And we came to know only when the summer arrived, when the troops, initially the Sherpas and the people of the graziers, the Bakarwals, Gujarwals and all who used to take the ship up once the your snow melts. They came and reported that there is some suspicion in this area, because these people are not from that area. There are outsiders who have come. They are not speaking the language of that area. So that was the first indication. The second indication, when our troops started moving, the patrol started going, they were all vanishing. These patrol used to be captured by the Pakistani, tortured, mutilated, and it was the first week of May 99 when we came to know in general. So initially it was taken that it is okay, it is a Mujahideens, it is a terrorist who has come and occupied. And when it became evident that all patrols are moving, and then you are trying to evict them, and we started buying casualty, we came to know, okay, no, it is not that. It is a pure, absolutely pure Pakistan army with planned this thing. They have done it, what they have done it earlier in 47, 48, or what they have done it in 65. So they have repeated and they have done it. Very difficult, very good master stroke by them. But this area of responsibility is the responsibility of 3 division, lay division of that time. That was the looking after this huge area. Impossible to, it's so thin on ground, because they were looking after from the area which I am saying, and the area which is come in this map also, the Kabul Gully, right up to Siachen Glacier and beyond, even what we are talking about today, because Eastern Ladakh, which everyone knows about it, even in that area one division was there. Thin on ground, people started moving. So initially credit goes to 3 div. And General Budwar, Major Budwar, I happened to be his, one of the, when he was the brigade commander, I was his BM, brigade major. So I was knowing him, 95 brigade, personally. I knew which actually came at later when I was, actually employed. And subsequently, 8 Mounted Division, a great soldier, General Mahendra Puri, he took over, and the plan, the synergy and complete thing, very well perceived at the army headquarter level, at the command headquarter, at the corps level, and all synergy, everything was done. And only thing there was, because of the nuclear bogey played by, but both are nuclear, there was some apprehension at the political leadership, and also the world has this feeling that probably India will never cross LOC, because until unless you cross the LOC and come from behind, you can't do this thing. And that terms of reference was given to the the people who were, and then the operation started. basically in India declared it on 24th, and it is a sheer the valor, determination, ability to take casualties, ability to do the things under all odds, that slowly by inch from one area to other area, the Indian army started gaining the foothold and then reaching and actually dislodging the people over there. So it was Jawans, it was the NCOs, national, whether it is a Nayak, Havaldar, it was JSU's young officer. Main thing, in their shoulder was the young officer, lieutenant, captain, major, lieutenant colonel, and the commanding officer just absolutely with their, troops. So it is unprecedented. No one, because just after the Kargil war, I had an opportunity to go to UK and met a lot of, that time people were asking, how, I have gone officially there. People are asking how Indian army Indian armed forces are able to achieve this. It was a valor, sheer valor. But there is Air Force contribution was tremendous. Which came, Air Force also came, the tremendous of use of artillery in this area. The way the ingenuity, in spite of the fact that we had the shortage of ammunition as far as the Bofors was concerned. Bofors, the Bofors scandal, because of that there were a lot of restrictions of procurement of ammunition. In spite of that, the way the artillery, the senior direction or command of artillery and the ingenuity of everyone in artillery, the way they did it in this area, and it is history. Everyone knows the small battle which has been carried out. And you asked a specific question about the Chor-Batla sector. I will just say, it happened with me, it must have happened with everyone. My battalion was tipped to go to Siachen Glacier, so that we had our advance party and people who were acclimatizing their area, and including my battalion was in Delhi, so we got the orders to be for airlift of the rest of the battalion and straightway put into the operations. I happened to know about, I told you, he was the brigade major of Geo-Strategic division, so he knew me very much, a lot of confidence. Moment I landed in Leh, he has sent his GSO2 operations to bring me by helicopter to Kargil. And when you come from 0 altitude to a height like this, you are supposed to be acclimatized. You are not supposed to run around. But those are history, the way our boys did it, and thereafter was given to my battalion that he can use it anywhere, and I told him, okay, sir, you can use it anywhere. And he told the area east of Batalik sector is absolutely open, no one is there, and they are all coming. So he took me the chopper, shown those, and we can see the enemy climbing those heights. From it was like ant climbing on those heads, and it's a huge area, and of course that is a battle of battalion, and we secured the whole area. So because you asked me the Chor-Batla, otherwise they're not, but it was the valor of this young people, the battle of, and the support of higher directions of the people, especially at the level of formations, operational level, tremendous operation.
Wonderful.
So General Sinha, because of the limitation of time, you've been able to bring out the broader aspect of the Kargil war in a nutshell to our viewers. Sir, we would also like to know what are the main factors by which India was able to achieve this great victory, and also what are the leverages that India is taking and can take in the future from this?
Right. I've been asking, what are the main factors? You see, the factors are tremendous. There are factors which are actually from zero probability of winning a war to 100%, turning the table. It has been done. There are a lot of factors. But, when you say, what are the major factors? What I look at it. See, when the Tolaling, capture of Tolaling, it was assembled. Of course, all area has been captured thereafter. But this is the first time When you get, and that was one of the highest point, strategic heights which was, was taken. I think that was a turning point. That was actually turning point of this operation. Because by doing this, in the area of Tiger Hill and all, the threat to National Highway NH1, which is going, and they wanted to cut. So one of those things was defeated by doing this. Then the second thing was, in my judgment, is, the flank. Because they wanted to go and cut off and take those areas of Sachin Glacier and Turtuk and things like that, of Sachin side, for which the east of Batalik sector was very important, and the securing of all heights and capturing of all heights, including certain heights across, those areas, was, I think that was a turning point. When the, subsector Hanif, which has been initially, now created, is the area which is going and turning from a, height of 5620, which one of my, boy captured that. And then the pressure on subsector Hanif, which has subsequently, they were attacking, they wanted to have a foothold, that got defeated. So securing of this flank is very important. Third factor, in my judgment, was the, the airstrike, precision airstrike. Of course, they had a very close support on those heights, but the precision strike at the Maltodhalo, that I told you initially, that was the base on which their logistic was based, and they were coming to everywhere. When it was hit by Air Force, they didn't have any choice. In my judgment, otherwise, tremendous amount of the Geo into, those are the factors, those are the strength. Each and every one, who was involved in the war, whether he was a pony driver, whether he was a signal man, whether he is from artillery, I brought it out, AMC, anywhere, ASC, everyone has got a story, it has got a valor, which is, कहते हैं ना, सुनी अनसुनी कहानियां हैं उनकी दास्तान इतनी भी है कि को आप बताएंगे तो उसका कोई सीमा नहीं है. Everyone who was involved, and the huge amount of, because securing this area, recapturing it, it is impossible. You turn from absolutely impossible to possible, and of Vijay, anyone who has actually coined, it was coined by maybe the chief that time, Jalal Malik, maybe at Army headquarters. Think that time saying Operation Vijay, and that confidence that we will get the victory, which is something, tremendous, which the Pakistani must have, thought that they will never able to do it. That is the point. You asked the second part is what is the leveraging thereafter. We had a lot of lesson learned from this. After the Kargil war, great failure, I brought it out initially of our intelligence. So a lot of things have been done, DIA has come, and there are gaps still because it is an ongoing process. There are, we have been again surprised in the eastern Ladakh. There is some gap of satellite imagery has come, a lot of intelligence have come. It is all working, but NIA come, a lot of agencies have come up, and there is a synergy. So that is a leveraging out of it. From Kargil war, the intelligence leveraging today, and today when we are getting those, beautiful intelligence, and you are, actually inside India, you are breaking those before they can strike. It is all because of, one leveraging I can see. The second leveraging, which I see the strategic, leveraging out of that, is the nuclear bogey, which the Pakistan played. And India, initially, just after the nuclear explosion, it has happened. I think thereafter, we defeated that. There may be, that we have not gone across, maybe some good reason, and kept the whole battle localized. But the nuclear bogey of the Pakistan, that, they can do anything, it is no. And the conventional superiority, we have again got it. This is also a turning point of, when you say the higher directions of war, what you will see in the restructuring of, CDS coming and all. It came after the Kargil committee report, after that lot of committees were formed to find out how it has happened and how can we do it. So it is all, so this becomes the base here. And that's why Operation Vijay has got is important, and the Vijay Diwas is important. That is the time where one of the pillar of emergence of the military powers, the military strength of this country. And you see today, we are challenging two-front war, whether it's China, whether Pakistan, everyone is looking at India. And that was, I think, that is the leveraging out of it.
Thank you, General Sinha, for your in-depth analysis on the Kargil war. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Viewers, Strategic Darshan brings out serious in-depth analysis on various strategic issues. Thank you for being a part of the Strategic Darshan family. Please subscribe to our channel for further such in-depth analysis.